Hello everyone and welcome to my third YouTube video. Today we are going to be ranking the villains in Star Wars Battlefront 2. Just a disclaimer, I will not be ranking BB9E as personally the update only came out yesterday, the servers have been down and I personally just haven't had a chance to play with the villain and tell whether it's good or not, and I haven't actually seen many videos also explaining how good it is or not, so I haven't got that good of an idea, so I feel like there's no point me talking about it if I have absolutely no idea what I'm chatting. So yeah, hope you enjoy. Okay, so coming in at number 10, unfortunately it pains me to say this, but I honestly think the worst hero, the worst dark side hero in Battlefield 2 is Captain Phasma. I do actually love using Captain Phasma, which is, it's a shame that I have to rank her this low, but I just think she, as everyone says, she's just way too dependent on her droid, and I just overall just think her blaster is just not powerful enough. Yeah, fair enough, it's got a high fire rate, it just does not give out that damage output. Fair play to her, she does have obviously the sort of night vision going on, and her staff traits are quite good when they land. However, another issue with her is that they don't always land, so that is another issue with her. I think she can be really good if they just edit her abilities a bit more, I don't know, fix the issues with the staff strikes not landing, improve the damage a bit, and I think more people would use her, which I'd really like to see, because I do actually have a lot of fun using Phasma. But unfortunately, yeah, she ranks in at number 10. Okay, and coming in at number 9, it's another unfortunate one for me, it is Hydey Versio. For me, I think her blaster is... I think her blaster is good. I think her secondary fire is good, especially when you have the star card to, be able to use the second fire more rapidly. I think her shield is good. However, I just wish. I mean, I don't know if it was a bit overpowered. If it was like this, but I sort of wish you were able to do things whilst in the shield, not just simply run away, and use it as defense. I wish you could actually fire, the blaster while using the shield, or something like that, just to make, I don't know, just to make me use the ability more, because I rarely ever use the ability. I just find I could be using a better ability. And when it comes to the sniper ability, I never ever use this. I really just don't find there's ever a need to use it, if I'm being honest. I just don't think it does enough damage even when it's max charged. I just don't really care for it. And then obviously her shock ability, it is good. In Galactic Assault and Supremacy, I don't really think it's as, as good compared to Heroes vs Villains. I do think it's actually really good in Heroes vs Villains because, any stun ability is incredible when you're fighting against other heroes, because they are obviously just frozen and you get about, 2-3 seconds to just go ham on them. But in Supremacy and Assault, you never really need average infantry to be paused for that amount of time, because usually you can kill them faster. Anyway, it's just a bit of a waste. And rocking up in 8th place is, again, I swear, all the heroes that I really love to enjoy playing, or the villains, sorry, are actually the worst. And I know quite a few people would disagree with me on this, in fact, because of his duelist ability, and they say that it is incredible because if you've got the card maxed out, I believe, don't quote me, that it is instant damage to an instant kill to infantry. However, I don't know, there's something about him, I swear his strikes don't connect anywhere nearly as often as they should do. Like, especially in Heroes vs Villains, I'll be spamming the attack button and they're not even blocking, and the hits just don't register. So I think that is something that needs to be improved. His right ability is also relatively okay, but not really much use in anything other than Heroes vs Villains or Hero Showdown. Because if you're battling infantry, you don't need to use exposed weakness on them because they're going to be dead in 2 shots anyway. There really isn't much point. As for his lightning attack, I feel like that is good. I don't know, the range on it has me, placing an 8th. as much as I do enjoy playing as him, the bugs really just piss me off, to be honest, and I really want them to be fixed because he's a very defensive hero, which I want to say elegant, very elegant. I love him. I love the skins he's got going on with him in the pajamas. I just wish he was better. Okay, and going down the list in our 7th spot, I believe this to be Boba Fett. I think personally the issue with Boba Fett is his health. And I know a lot of people will disagree because there are a lot of Boba Fett mains and say that his movement is like any other hero or villain in any other class in the entire game, and yes, that is true, but I think his health just really lets him down. At the same time, his rocket barrage, yeah, it is very good, one of the best abilities in the game. If you can use it right, and if there's a big group of people and you connect all your shots, because it is actually quite difficult to fire the rocket barrage whilst flying in the air, believe it or not. However, his concussion rocket is absolutely disgraceful. I've seen other YouTube videos before where they've ranked Boba Fett, and I couldn't agree more. I literally only use it because it is there. I don't see any other need for it to be used. If it wasn't there, I wouldn't miss it. I'd probably like it, but I'd much prefer it if there was a different ability there instead. His blaster, I do enjoy the fact that it is a 3-round burst, or 3-round burst. However, I just think the damage is a bit lacking. However, if you connect all your headshots, and you're good with your aim, you can actually dominate. Because one of my first games playing, that was Battlefront 2. There was a Boba Fett on the other team, and this was a few months ago, however, but they absolutely dominated. I could not kill him. He was whizzing around in the air, so I can completely understand if you don't agree with his decision. But as I said, this is just my personal opinion, so don't go ballistic in the comments, because my opinion is my opinion. So yeah. Okay, and coming in 6th place, I believe it is General Grievous. Now I know, again, I reckon a lot of people will disagree with me on this, because out of all the villains in the game, Grievous is my least played with character by far, just because he just doesn't suit my playstyle whatsoever. I don't know, I just don't like him. His Claw Rush, I do think is incredible for both Heroes vs Villains and infantry maps, game modes. However, there's just something with Grievous which just makes me feel like he's just not very maneuverable. His defense is really not very good. He's got no stamina, and I just feel like whenever I move around with him, I'm just forcing to push this big trolley around with me. I get that he's cool and he's got some pretty nifty appearances, but I just don't see the appeal. As for his lock-on swinging ability, I do think that is good for, again, both Heroes versus Villains and Galactic Assault. However, I just find myself never using it. Again, all my opinion, it's completely okay to disagree with me if you want. And then I think personally his best ability by far is his middle ability, which pretty much just makes him invulnerable, and he also brings out his 2 other lightsabers and just deals massive damage to anyone who he walks into. As I said, he cannot be damaged during this state, which no matter what he was doing, if it was invulnerable to damage, it would be a pretty decent ability nonetheless. But as I said, I completely understand people's appeal in him. Just personally, he's just not for me. Okay, coming in at number 5, I personally think it should be Darth Maul. Now, I love using Darth Maul. I absolutely love it. I just feel like he is nowhere near as powerful as the other villains yet to come up in the list. I don't know what it is, I just feel like because of his movement speed, I almost feel like he lacks for it in damage, and I don't know why. I mean, I think statistically he's not a really weak, he's not particularly weak in terms of his hits, but I just feel like he is. As for his middle ability, I do really enjoy his choke, however, I feel like it could just be, do a little bit more damage, and I also feel like it lasts a bit too long. I feel like you're very vulnerable while using the choke before he actually fires the opponents to the ground. I know tons of people love using Dark Maul. I do like using Dark Maul, as I said, but you know, when it comes to ranking, it just doesn't competitively compete with the other villains. His lightsaber throw is incredible. I feel like in all lightsaber users, the lightsaber throw is probably, if not the most fun, and also the most useful ability in the game. As you can obviously hit individuals from most ranges. To be honest, you're not going to be attempting to lightsaber throw someone from across the map, are you? So obviously it's good in both Capital Supremacy, Galactic Assault, and Heroes vs Villains, and also to sit for more kills. His right ability, which is the spinny charge one, is I actually really enjoy it. I actually find that I use it, I think it's mainly supposed to be used as an aggressive move. I find I mostly use it on the defense, literally just to get away from people. If I find that I'm taking a lot of damage and they're right in front of me, I will just sort of quickly do that, because I'm not usually expecting it because of how fast it is, and then I'll follow up with you know, some of his other moves. But yeah, unfortunately he's just a bit lackluster in comparison to the ones yet to come. Okay, and sliding in at number 4, we have Bossk. Now, ever since I've started playing this game, Bossk has been one of my mains. I just love him. I just love the way he can jump around. I love his shotgun / sniper weapon, the railway or whatever it's called. I wish the shotgun range could be a bit further, but in the same sense, I feel like if you could shoot further range with the shotgun, it would actually just be completely overpowered, because it is a 2-shot kill, and when it does connect, I'm pretty sure to all classes, or it might be 3-shot with heavies and reinforcements. The sniper is perfect. It just takes a quick little, you know, animation for it to charge up to the max, and then it's loaded. Right, let's talk about his abilities. So his proximity mines are, you just cannot go wrong with some proximity mines. Obviously laying down Heroes vs Villains, I wouldn't say they're as good. I'd say they're much better in infantry based maps. His Dioxis Grenade, I believe it to be personally one of the best abilities in games for me when I use Bossk. I just love the long-lasting effect, and I just love how wide the radius is. And obviously you can get star cards to upgrade the radius even more, and its damaging effect. And personally, my favourite ability of his is his middle ability, where you can just go jumping around. You can see through walls, and you fire these weird sort of little missile explosive things. I just think it is the most fun. For some reason, when you're bouncing around as Bossk using his middle ability, I swear you just cannot hit him. Well, that's how it's been when I've been playing as him, and when other people have been playing as him and using the middle ability, I just can't seem to hit him. And it's probably because I'm obviously thinking about his projectiles coming towards me, so that obviously puts my focus off a little bit. But then mixed with his other abilities, which he can use at the same time, his left and his right ability, which he can use at the same time as his middle ability, it just makes him unstoppable for me. I wish that a Blaster hero could be in the top 3, because I do actually really like Blaster heroes, and I don't think they get enough use as they deserve. It's just, unfortunately, you can't deny it, they're just nowhere near as good as the light side of heroes that I'm about to name. Okay, coming in at the number 3 spot is Kylo. I think, for me, Kylo Ren is probably my favourite dark side character in the game. I just absolutely love using him. He's quick, his abilities are so incredibly satisfying to use. For example, his pull and his freeze, just like he does in the movies. I think it is such a clever ability to add to him, and considering no one else has that ability for freeze, I think it just makes him incredibly unique and just so much more fun to use. I think his middle ability can be useful in infantry-based games and also Heroes vs Villains. It's just, for me, his lightsaber strike seems to connect the most efficiently. Like every single time I use it, every time I use the strike button, it connects, which is obviously how it should be anyway, but that's just not the case at the moment. They'll fix that. His pull ability is just so incredibly helpful, and his freeze ability is so incredibly helpful as well, especially for other teammates as well, because they are just completely immobilized, obviously, and even with the pull, they are completely immobilized for a small amount of time as they are being thrown through the air. As I was saying, his middle ability is just incredible to me. It is so satisfying to use, and you just go on an absolute rampage, and you just feel like you're going a million miles an hour. I don't think too many people will disagree with me that I've put him this high up on the list, as I've seen him used pretty much every single Heroes vs Villains and military-based game modes, Capital Supremacy and Galactic Assault. So he must be a favourite, and I don't know whether that's just because of the new movie, everyone's going hyped about him, or because he is good, but in my opinion it's because he is incredibly good. Okay, and rocking up at the number 2 spot is the Emperor Palpatine. Now, personally, I do enjoy using Palpatine. It did take a while for me to get used to him, and to be fair, I didn't actually know that if you held down both triggers, or both of the mouse clicks, he does the damage that he's supposed to do. This entire time I've been playing this game, I've only been holding down one of the triggers, which is, you know, a bit embarrassing, and I was wondering why everyone was saying he was so broken he needed a fix, because I was just thinking his damage is just not there. But now that I understand that I can pretty much have double damage with him, I can completely understand what the fuss is about. His Chain Lightning is, I swear, the most powerful ability in the game, in terms of sheer damage output and also usefulness, especially in Heroes vs Villains and Capital Supremacy and Galactic Assault, as a lot of the enemies you're facing will be in groups, so all you need to do is just damage them for a bit, press Chain Lightning, and pretty much everyone who is in that group is dead instantly. It's just so powerful, and I personally do think it needs a damage nerf, and also a range nerf. I don't think you should be able to Chain Lightning people from the distance that you can now. Like, for example, just then I did that, and they were far enough away for it that it shouldn't count, but it did. As for his middle ability, I do like it. I think it is pretty cool. I think it does help to balance him out, as I don't think it is as powerful as his Chain Lightning ability. All it does is pretty much balances and damages enemies around him. And then, as for his third ability, again, it is good, but it's nowhere near as good as his Chain Lightning. It simply just, you know, temporarily freezes opponents in place, and the range is really not that good unless you get the correct star cards for it, which, you know, drastically improve the range. I personally feel like if you have the right star cards for Palpatine, he can be... I know I've ranked him to second place, but I personally think he could be easily ranked as the top villain in the game. I see most people use him pretty much every single game I'm in. There's rarely a game where I don't see Palpatine in, whether it's heroes or villains or infantry based. He is just too good. His dodges as well, I just think they are so incredible. He just doesn't seem to have any. He doesn't seem to have any negatives. All of his things are positives. His jumps are very high, and yeah, fair enough, he's quite slow when he's coming back down. But if you're vulnerable when you're going back down, just use your Chain Lightning, and you'll be absolutely sorted. As you can obviously use this ability in midair, which makes it even more powerful. So the Chancellor, Sheev himself, comes in at number 2, and coming in at number 1, in my opinion, is Darth Vader. I don't think I'm going to be surprising anyone here, to be honest. I feel like most people will agree with me in this. In the most recent update, he is now able to use his lightsaber throw and also block attacks and blast of fire whilst he is using the choke, which I think is just... yes, he can do it in the movies, but I just think it is a bit too overpowered for him. I swear, I don't know if it's like statistically true, but I swear his saber throw is more powerful than Darth Maul's. It feels like a one-shot kill most of the time, and I'm not sure if that's just a star card. His choke is obviously impressive as well. It's so much better than Darth Maul's, as not only does it choke them, it also keeps them in place, so you are able to attack them straight away after the choke is over, and you're also able to walk towards them, getting in closer proximity to them. as I said earlier, while you're using choke, you can also saber throw them, which is just incredible, I think. But I personally think the main thing that makes Darth Vader the beast that he is his health. He just has an incredible health pool. It's just unbelievable. I swear, like, I'll be playing this Darth Vader online, I'll take about 1,000 damage, I'll be like, oh, you know, I fucking should be dead by now, and I'm not even halfway dead. It's just unbelievable. I feel like they've done everything right with Darth Vader. You know, he should be powerful. He is Darth Vader after all. And I'm glad what they've done with him. I feel like his attacks always connect. You know, always connect when they should connect. His saber throws always connect. As for his middle ability, it is very good as well. I haven't talked about that yet, but I feel like that's the one ability that sort of balances him out a little bit. I don't think it's as good as his other two abilities, being the choke and the throw. Another thing I'd like to point out, I swear to God, his saber throw is literally, you can get cross-mapped with it. Well, let me try and show you in a little example here. See how far away that enemy is? That actually connected. That was huge. So yeah, overall, as I said, I really don't think it comes as a surprise to everyone. I wish that in the next update they do create the heroes, the villains, sorry, that were lower ranking on the list a bit better, because I do tend to enjoy mostly the lower ranking heroes such as Count Dooku and Boba Fett. But they just don't work, and you can't force yourself to use something that just doesn't do well. So yeah, that concludes my ranking video. Thank you so much for watching. Again, this is only my, I'm very new to the commentary. This is only my second one, so please just take it easy and give me some, actual feedback. So yeah, thank you very much. I'll see you in the next video.